And we're back with another little trick. See how the yields look on that? See how there's a nice cluster, and this is a very small plant. Let me start from the beginning. The first year that I grew super hots, I just used some it was Dr. Earth's organic fertilizer, which has a good NPK. The P for phosphorus is a little bit higher than the N even. However, that stuff, it's like little pellets, but a lot of times in shipping and after a while stuff breaks down. It's kind of more dusty, and after heavy watering, with just that alone, you end up not getting great yields. Now, I will admit these here, because these are just more, they're basically in these ornamental pots, the yields are great for the size of the pots. But if you look, let me show you two good things to good yields. One is the size of the pot. This is a 7-gallon right here, okay? Look at the clusters on this. I mean, if I look all the way around this plant, there's over 100 pods on here. See what I'm saying? So having a good soil, good nutrients, and the size of the pot also matters. With a tiny pot, you won't get as many yields. So with that being said, what else is there? What I'm going to talk about today is that little white stuff right there, that little white powder right there. And I put that in the soil when I plant it. That right there is this. This is organic bone meal. Epsom. It's only $8.99, folks. Yeah, you can get this at your local, pretty much anywhere, local gardening supply store, or you can order it from Amazon. I've done both. But anyways, when I mix my soil, I do use some of the Dr. Earth still, organic. It's a tomato. It's for tomatoes, and I use that. And I also put in bone meal, same brand as this. Bag is the same except for it's burgundy color instead of blue. The blood meal, and then the bone meal. Now, why am I putting more bone meal? Now, I put a little bit more blood meal on the top of soil. So mix the soil back in April, okay? Then what? I put a little bit of bone meal on top a couple weeks ago, because that's got the nitrogen in it, right? Your plants will start yellowing out a little too quickly without it. And you can already see, if you guys remember, I showed you this one. See how green, dark green that is? Okay, that's because I put that blood meal on the top of the soil. Now, today what I did was I just sprinkled a little bit of bone meal on the top. Now, bone meal doesn't break down super quick, so it's good because there's still, bone meal in the soil that is still breaking down. But it's crucial this time of year that I put some more on there, because now it's 96 degrees today or tomorrow. I don't know, whatever. 95 one day, 96 the other. You're going to be watering your plants a ton, right? Look at the clusters on here. And these are small plants, guys. Look at the size of that Phosphorus. That son of a gun is just huge, man. And nice clusters. So I found for good production, you got to have enough phosphorus. You have to. Okay? Like I said, that first year, yeah, my plants had enough nitrogen. They didn't have enough phosphorus. So my yields weren't that great. Mainly weren't that great in these small pots when it was 100 degrees. You had to keep watering them. Now this year is going to be a hotter summer than the last two, they're saying. Last year was mediocre, leaning towards mild. The year before that, 2022 growing season, was mild, okay? Mild. And even last year we had less 90 degree or above days than we usually do. So I got lucky. This year is not going to be the same way. This year is going to be days that are super duper hot, and many of them. And we're going to get some, we're going to have to be watering the piss out of these plants. That's a T-Rex, just to keep them alive, So beauty. So we got pods. I'll show you something else too. Look at that. Look at those white marugas. And guys, look, these are little plants. You know, these little 4-gallon squats, man, that are for ornamental. That's, you know, because we have HOA here and they will not let you grow big stuff. Now, I get away with this one because it looks like the other ones and it's in the middle. Another Phosphorus plant over here. You know, got some gorillas in the mist back there. Yeah. So I just want to talk about getting better yields. Try to use bigger pots. I found that in some of the 4 and 5 gallon pots, where you're having to continuously water and water and water, you're rinsing out a lot of the nutrients. If you like fertilizing and you like to do a regular fertilizer schedule, I'm sure you can probably tweak it a little bit. Me, I don't. Like I said, man, I throw whatever in the soil, and then I do some blood meal on the top of the soil, and then I do some bone meal on top of the soil around this time. And yeah, I believe it helps. That phosphorus helps things. It helps flowers, right? It helps with I've heard it helps prevent flower drop, you know, to a certain extent. You're always going to drop some flowers. I'll show you. Watch this. You wiggle a plant. Oh, actually, that's surprisingly. Yeah, there's one. You're going to have some flowers that are loose. Some flowers are going to fall off. All right? Look at. There's flowers. Yeah. But yeah, mix this stuff in with your soil, like I said. Organic bone meal. And then later on, you know, when it starts getting really hot out, throw a little bit on top of the soil. Yes, it takes a while to break down, you know. I've heard people say it's pointless to do that. Well, all of that was about 50 cents worth of bone meal, and it is adding phosphorus. These plants will be here until November, okay? So it does do some good. Sure, it doesn't break down immediately like something that's water soluble, but I don't need it to. I don't need it to break down immediately. What I need to happen is a little bits and pieces of it enrich my soil because I'm watering so much, you know what I'm saying? But all right, guys, you guys are going to see what's going to happen here in the next week. I'm predicting it. I'm going to have some right pods. And what makes me say that? Well, I'm going to tell you. We're getting rain this coming weekend. And whenever I've seen a nice amount of pods on plants like this, and they get that rest, they get that where they're not beat up by the sun, it rains out. It's going to rain for 2 days, hallelujah. And I guarantee you, a week from today, mark my words, today's Monday. You're talking about what, July 1st, I think it'll be? July 1st. I'll show you guys. I'll have, I don't know how many, maybe just 2 or 3, but I will have fresh pods. Yeah.